Hi, this is Carson Owens. I'm in Intro to Ammunition and Basic Ballistics, FTT 122, Section 52269. And this is week 2 assignment, and I'm to demonstrate my understanding of the features of a modern cartridge case. The first part is here. It's the body, and it's partially capped on one end, and it's hollow on the inside and houses the propellant and part of the projectile. The next part is this taper here. That's the shoulder. It provides head space, and it helps for a smooth transition and overbore and bottleneck cartridges. And the next part is the neck, which is the next taper part right above the shoulder. And it prevents the bullet from moving unintentionally, and it also aligns the bullet in with the bore. And the length of it depends on the caliber and the recoil and what its uses would be. The mouth is the actual opening at the end that the projectile fits down into, and that's pretty much that. A cannelure is an indented ring along the body or the neck. It prevents the bullet from being able to push back further past a certain point. So it keeps it from, I think it's called setback. It prevents setback. The next part is a flash hole. It's on the inside by the web. But the flash hole allows, it's a port between the primer pocket and the case body, and embers from the primer will make its way through the hole into the propellant and cause it to explode and start the process of firing. The head is the end piece, and it has several of its own features. It has the primer pocket and part of the rim for extraction, the extractor groove rim, and it also bears a head stamp of the company. So that's the features of the head there. The primer pocket is the hollow cavity. You can see here it doesn't have one. It's just the cavity. It doesn't have a primer, but it's where the primer is housed when you refill if you reload the brass. Depending on the model, there may be part of the primer in there, the anvil. It depends on the model of the gun. And then the rim is the very end of the lip going around the case head, and its primary purpose is to make a point of contact for the extractor. The secondary function is to create headspace whenever the priming compound goes off. And why are modern cartridges designed this way? Because they sufficiently house all the components that are necessary for a cartridge. They withstand the ignition of the propellant, and it creates a good gas seal for obturation to happen. So it's not broke, so don't fix it, I guess. As to the question of there being any possible improvements on modern cartridges, I think an obstacle keeping the chambers cool enough during repeat fire, plus the fact that modern primers and propellants degrade over time, improvements in propellant research and development could increase shelf life of ammunition, which is already pretty good. You can get up to 20 years on some of it. And other issues that brass casings don't handle high pressures as well as polymer or plastics. And so hopefully the plans will include more composite materials that will release less heat into the chamber, and composite materials are shown to use 10% less propellant and still reach the same ballistics numbers as a brass case .308 round in the testing that I watched. And plus it's a lower cost because brass is heavier and more expensive. And the final question was, what would happen if a cartridge was thrown into a fire? The cartridge would pop when the heat caused the ignition, but it would be like a firecracker with just extra shrapnel because without the heavy barrel and to hold and focus that energy straight forward, it would just go like everywhere. It wouldn't be focused, so it wouldn't like shoot off. So, in bibliography, I wanted to note a couple of things. Paul Bradley did the article "Ammunition Problems: How to Detect, Prevent, and Avoid Them" on primetake.com/ammo problems detect, prevent, avoid. And the other one was the modern cartridge case, and that was at theballisticassistant.com. And those were the bibliographies that I used. And